Somewhere beyond the sea, somewhere waiting for me, my lover stands on golden sands and watches the ships that go sailing. Welcome one, welcome all. It's no secret that I love Assassin's Creed Black Flag. To me, it is still the best Assassin's Creed game ever made. Look, I made a video proving it. You might want to check it out later. Well, the good news is, there's another game very similar. It's basically more Black Flag. In case you hadn't guessed it yet, I'm talking about Assassin's Creed Rogue. Released in 2014, 1 year after Black Flag, because this was when they did yearly titles, it generally went under the radar. See, when it was released on the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360. And at this exact same time, they released Assassin's Creed Unity for the Xbox One and PS4. Now, they did release Xbox One and PS4 versions as well, very quickly actually afterwards. But because this next-gen title, or current gen as it was, got so much attention, unfortunately negatively, remember? They did a reasonable job patching it though, eventually. Many people just forgot about poor old Assassin's Creed Rogue. And that's a shame, because it's just so good. You're a brand new character with brand new map. Well, two maps you can sail between actually. One in the north with extra cold ocean, so you've got a new mechanic in there. If you're in the water too long, you start to lose health. And one slightly more familiar tropical climes. In this one, and this isn't a spoiler because it happens ever so quickly and I think everybody knows it, you don't play as an assassin. You play as a former assassin, now a member of the Templars. And this does add a really interesting game dynamic, and of course a really unique story. Because instead of being the assassins trying to foil the Templars, you are the Templars. It's interesting to me, and it just lets you see the other side a bit as well. Now, of course, the mechanics are very similar because you're an assassin, so you're trained in the same way. And yes, it's all very similar to Black Flag, but that's the theme of this game. It's basically more Black Flag, and that's a good thing because it was one of the best games ever made. The land combat is just as good and tight as it was in Black Flag, with this nice little twist on the missions. I mean, yes, you've got the Ubisoft towers, but moving on from those, some of the side missions are really interesting. So, for example, rather than going and carrying out an assassination, you have to foil an assassination. It's not something we've done before, not like this anyway. And of course you can do the standard things like let the sea shanties, etc. Because we all love the sea shanties. Speaking of, when I'm selling a game as more Black Flag, you don't overly care about the on-land combat, do you? It's all about the sea. And I'm pleased to say this is just as good and just as tight as ever. I actually see this as a slight graphical improvement on Black Flag. It's only subtle, but, well, I think it's there. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think it is. And it just works so well. The mechanics are pretty much the same, if I'm perfectly honest with you, but that's no bad thing. There's a theme here, isn't there? It's the same and that's no bad thing. And it's still the best part of the game. You've got a different style of boat in this one, although it handles and feels the same way as Edward Kenway's Jackdaw. It's a little bit smaller for the different terrain that you're in, and it just works absolutely beautifully. You know what they say about if it isn't broke, don't fix it? Well, they just tweaked it slightly. I mean, the only real difference I can think of is that instead of just having one of the little cannons that you can shoot the enemy sailors with to try and take over the boat, you've got one at each end now, one at the back, one at the front. And yes, I know there's proper nautical terms, but I don't know them. It's a good length as well. It's not just a DLC, it is a fully flushed out game, and I really like the story here. I like most of the stories for the Assassin's Creed games, except maybe Assassin's Creed 3. I was never really struck by that title at all, actually. But moving on, it's really interesting, really engaging, and you do find yourself playing because you want to see what's going to happen next, as well as just for the pure thrill and fun of it all. Plenty of side missions to keep you going, plenty of things to raid for resources, you can upgrade your boat as previously, there's hunting, there's crafting, there's so much to do. If you have any fond memories for Assassin's Creed Black Flag, please give this game a go. You can find it easily, second-hand, it's a cheap game to buy, for hours and hours of fun. Let me know if you enjoy it when you get it. Or of course, if you've already played it. Thanks very much for your time, and I'll see you soon.